Please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
Right, so plenty of headlines at this hour, and the focus is squarely on Karnataka and the spillover effect. This is the show where our team at CNBC TV18 gets you the top stories of the day. I'm Arif Sherwani. So dramatic developments in Bengaluru, which is now spilling over to other states as well. Shireen Bhan is here with all the action from there.
Well, that's right. From Karnataka to Goa to Bihar, the opposition is up in arms, and this after what can only be described as a dramatic development in Indian politics since 9:30 p.m. late last night, when the governor invited B.S. Yeddyurappa to form the government. Yeddyurappa took oath as the chief minister early this morning, even as the opposition leaders protested outside the Bengaluru assembly. All of this after the Supreme Court opened its gates at 1:45 a.m. to hear a petition challenging the Karnataka governor's decision. The court ruled at 5:30 this morning that it will not stop Yeddyurappa's swearing in, but has scheduled the next hearing in the case to tomorrow. With Yeddyurappa invited to form government as the leader of the single largest party, Congress MLAs in Goa are seeing an opening. 15 months after elections in the state, Congress is now claiming stake to form the government, as it is the single largest party. The BJP under Manohar Parrikar formed the government with the support from others, though even the Congress was the single largest party with 17 seats. In Bihar, the Janata Dal United fought the election with Lalu Prasad Yadav's RJD in 2015, but the JDU dumped the RJD last year and allied with the BJP. Now the RJD claims it will approach the governor and stake claim to form government, as it is the single largest party in Bihar. Let's take a look at the reactions that have been coming in.
Earlier, he had sacrificed, Vajubhai Wala had sacrificed his seat in the Gujarat Vidhan Sabha in favor of Shri Narendra Modi. Yesterday evening and then today morning, Vajubhai Wala sacrificed the constitution and democracy for Modi ji. It was not a swearing in of B.S. Yeddyurappa ji today, but it was an ugly picture of swallowing in ceremony of democratic principles, judicial verdicts, and established precedents.
Well, that seems to be the Karnataka impact. From Goa to Bihar now, opposition leaders who claim they are the single largest party saying they should be called by the governor to form government. Joining us now to take this story forward, which is developing practically every minute, Syed Zafar Islam of the BJP and Sanjay Jha of the Congress party. Zafar, let me start by asking you, you may very well install your government in Karnataka and have your way, but you seem to have united the opposition. You've cemented the opposition from Goa to Bihar now, whether it's the Congress in Goa or it is the RJD in Bihar. They're saying, well, if you can do it in Karnataka, then why should we not be able to do the same?
Shireen, all I can say that we have just followed the process. What does the Constitution say? The governor has followed the process, and I can tell you the Congress spokesperson, Mr. Surjewala, I just heard him. I would remind him that in 2017 he was sending tweets after tweets citing about SR Bomai case. And I must tell him that you must read the
but if you're using if you're using the single largest party principle and the governor of Karnataka chooses to use the single largest party principle, then the Congress and the RJD are saying, why should they be treated any different? Let's just take a look at the picture in Goa to start with. The assembly strength of 40, the Congress has 17, the BJP had 12. You then did a post-poll coalition with the MJP and the GFP, and now the Congress is saying, as a single largest party, given the fact that you don't have a chief minister in office either, there is an administrative failure. Why should the Congress not be invited to form government? Why should they not be allowed to approach the governor to stake claim?
Shireen, the differentiating factor between the two situations is as follows. First of all, you have to stake claim. Did they stake claim in Goa? No. The governor did not receive any communication from the Congress party, which is the single largest party in Goa, as well as in Manipur and Meghalaya. So in such cases...
That's not entirely true. That's not entirely true, but let me get Sanjay Jha to respond to that.
In fact, Shirin, you must go to Supreme Court, Justice Kahar, and his judgment. Supreme Court judgment, you must refer, para 5. He very clearly mentioned that for 3 days, they didn't make any claim. And unless they stake claim, how can they form the government? The governor cannot, it's not an automatic process that governor will call them. We made a claim because we had the number in place, and that's why we did it in Manipur, Goa, as well as in Meghalaya.
All right, let me get Sanjay Jha to respond to that. Sanjay Jha, is this posturing on the part of the Congress party as in Goa, for instance? I mean, do you really believe that there is going to be the possibility of a change there? Is this just aggressive posturing on your part?
No, much more than that, Shirin. Shirin, what's sauce for the goose is sauce for the gander. I had the BJP spokesperson. I heard him quote Chief Justice Kehar. And he says that, the opposition parties got together and staked the claim. Well, my dear friend, that's exactly what's happening in Karnataka, right? The Congress and the JDS have staked the claim. You are the single largest party. So he's exactly proving our point. You can't have the cake and eat it too. So when it suits them, the single largest party is correct. When it suits them, then two parties. Just 1 minute, I didn't interrupt you. When you are the single largest party in Karnataka, you should be allowed to form the government. Congress was the single largest party in Goa, Manipur, Meghalaya. No worries. You are not to be called. What kind of political double standards are these? Second, Shirin, by the way, if you talk of staking a claim to form a government, that's exactly what JDS and Congress have done. And there in Karnataka, they're saying, well, that's opportunistic politics. What are we talking about? And so one simple question. From 104 and 118, which is the bigger number, the 118 are two parties, but there are two outgoing chief ministers who have signed on a paper with all the MLA's details given. How is that 104 going to become
Sanjay, just on that point, because rumors are flying thick and fast. And 1 second, Zafar. Sanjay, I want to get a clarification from you, and I don't know if you have the information, but if you do, it would be nice if you could clarify this for us. Because rumors are flying thick and fast that 3 of your MLAs have, so to speak, been lost already in Karnataka. And now we're given to understand that one of your MLAs who was at the Vidhan Sabha protest this morning, Mr. Ramesh Jharkholi, is now back. I don't know whether this is accurate or not, but as I said, rumors flying thick and fast. Is your flock intact?
Shirin, let me tell you, I'll tell you the flock is totally intact, both of the Congress and the JDS. And I'll tell you the very simple reason behind it. Although Amit Shah and Narendra Modi, this is their style of governance. And the 100 crores you're talking about, I don't know whether it's with or without GST, but it's a fact. It's a fact. Let me tell you that. I have evidence on that. Now, let me tell you the second point. Very critical.
What evidence do you have?
No, I'll tell you. I have been told
what evidence? Sanjay, 1 second. You said you have evidence that offers have been made to the tune of 100 crores. We heard this from Mr. Kumaraswamy as well. He didn't present any evidence in that press conference. What evidence do you have?
Let me answer.
Zafar, I'm asking him that question.
Let me answer.
No, Zafar, one minute. I'm asking him that question. Sanjay, what evidence do you have to make that claim?
I'll tell you, I have been told this by a very, very senior leader, and he told me that 1 minute.
Mr. Sanjay Jha.
Can I finish?
Mr. Sanjay Jha.
Could you please stop him when I'm talking?
Let him finish, Zafar. I'll come to you. Zafar, I'll come to you. Zafar, just a second. Gentlemen, please. I will come to you, Zafar, to get your response. Sanjay Jha, evidence.
Yeah, and I'm not doubting the credibility of the individual who said this is the kind of offers that have been made. By the way, there have been people who have been made offers of 100, some have been given 50, some have been given 10 and 12. It's a whole assortment of...
No, but this is still hearsay, Sanjay. This is hearsay. Where is the evidence?
Just 1 minute. Hear me out. Tell me one thing. Let me ask you a simple question, Shirin. How do you think a party will go to 104 to 14 unless they're going to do brazen horse trading? This is a simple thing that you need to know. The second point, let me tell you the second point. The Supreme Court is taking a call on this tomorrow. And because the Supreme Court, in our opinion, in all probability, will actually, remember, even this oath ceremony is provisional. Now, the Supreme Court in its order last night said if they take an oath, we're not stopping it, but it is provisional, it's only interim. Now, how shameless can you be? They could have just waited till tomorrow. Now, the reason why they haven't done that is because they want to do this brazen horse trading. And I will tell you the other critical point. Because the Supreme Court tomorrow may completely, and we know that this government is going to fall tomorrow, nobody from the other camps are even remotely interested in any conversation with the BJP. They are Mr. Yeddyurappa is a 24-hour chief minister.
You've had your say, Sanjay. Though you said you had evidence, but I don't see you having presented that. What you told us was hearsay. But Zafar, very quickly respond to Sanjay, and then I want to go across to Naval Kishore's spokesperson of the RJD.
I will respond to each allegation that Sanjay Jha has made. He said evidence, and you can see on your channel he could not produce any evidence. This is the way they mislead the people of this country. That's why they are in a situation what they are today, completely discarded by the people of this country. Second, he was talking about 100 crore. Maybe Kumaraswamy is capable of taking 100 crore. Congress party is taking maybe indulge in such practices. We are not used to. We are a disciplined party. We do not resort to such practices. And having said that, he is asking about the numbers. Let me tell you, your Congress MLAs and team of MLAs are not intact. Let me tell you, there are many who are in touch with us. Again, I'm telling you on your channel.
Okay. All right, gentlemen, this mudslinging will continue, but I want to get to... No, 1 second. I want to get to Mr. Naval Kishore, spokesperson of the RJD. Naval Kishore ji, आप तेजस्वी यादव जो आपके लीडर हैं, वो कह रहे हैं कि आरजेडी जो है सिंगल लार्जेस्ट पार्टी है बिहार में. आप गवर्नर को अप्रोच करेंगे कि आरजेडी को बुलाया जाए गवर्नमेंट फॉर्म करने के लिए. आप खुलासा करेंगे कि कल जो आप धरना कर रहे हैं उसके बाद आपने गवर्नर से अपॉइंटमेंट मांगी है?
जी अपॉइंटमेंट मांगी गई है और माननीय तेजस्वी यादव ने कल 1 बजे का समय मांगा है गवर्नर से. और आप एक चीज और सुधार करें कि इट इज नॉट ओनली सिंगल लार्जेस्ट पार्टी बट इट इज सिंगल लार्जेस्ट फ्री पोल अलायंस. इट इज मोर देन 108 MLA टुगेदर इंटैक्ट. And taking that into consideration, we should have been called. But when we approached at the time of the situation in 2017, July 2017, when mandate was not only looted but abducted at the behest of BJP to form a government, and we have marched and it is given letter
Mr. Kishore, I'm not disputing your argument that you are the single largest party. The numbers speak for themselves. But the question that I put to Sanjay Jha, I'm going to ask you the very same question. I mean, are you really serious about this going anywhere? Or is this just aggressive posturing at this point in time?
No.
What do you hope to achieve?
It has a point that the Grand Alliance was given mandate. And we were in the government. When the government and mandate was broken at the behest of BJP and they went to form in the alliance, even that time, if you take the principle that the single largest party should get the first chance to form the government, we were not only the single largest party, but we are also the single largest three-pole alliance. On that count, the governor refused. We that time also we said that it is not the governor decision,
Naval Kishore,
it is the government decision.
If the governor chooses to ignore your request, what then?
No, we will continue to fight to save the democracy.
But what do you mean by you will continue to fight? What will be the next step? If the governor chooses to ignore your request, what next?
No, governor has already ignored in 2017 also. Since governor of Karnataka has taken a position that single largest party should be given option, taking that position into consideration, we will demand not only to the governor but the President of India to dismantle this government, which has no moral basis to continue, because it was also post-poll alliance. And if it has number, that number is there in Karnataka. They should have also got that the opportunity to form the government.
Right.
Having said that, if the governor has not invited them, the post-poll alliance people, how Bihar government and along with all the 3 states, Manipur, Goa and Meghalaya, where this has been done, what was the ground of that?
Sanjay Jha, what next now? Naval Kishore, you talked about Manipur and Meghalaya. Sanjay Jha, what about those states now? Because in Meghalaya, the Congress had 21, the BJP had 2. In Manipur, the Congress had 28. Are we likely to see some action in either of those states in any form or fashion?
Absolutely. I think what we are waiting for is now the Supreme Court verdict. But let me tell you, in Goa, there is a very compelling logic, Shirin. All these states were hijacked by the BJP. Now it's very convenient for them to, kind of change and adopt another posture. Now, take Meghalaya. I think it's a classic example where the BJP had 2 seats And they, managed to create a ragtag coalition, bought out people, said form the government, just keep the Congress party out. You can't really do that. And, end of day, you have to have a common yardstick. And we are very confident that the Supreme Court will give a verdict which disallows Mr. Yeddyurappa to continue as Chief Minister. And let me tell you one more point. You asked me of the evidence. It has got a lot to do with the Republic of Bihar. They are the ones who are funding these entire buyouts. And as we tweeted yesterday, apparently a very prominent Gujarati businessman behind it. So there is enough, I can tell you at the moment, material knowledge we have of who are the people who are funding the BJP in the acquisition of MLAs. And this will be exposed at the right time. This will be exposed at the right time.
I'm afraid I'm out of... Yes, Zafar, very quickly. I'm completely out of time. Very quickly.
See, all I can say that Sanjay Rao and his entire Congress party is only attempting to mislead the people. I must tell you that the Congress, all the elected MLAs are unhappy with their own leadership. They are in touch with us. We are just waiting for the right time for the opportunity to prove our majority on the floor of the assembly, and we will prove it.
Another quick clarification I want. Sanjay, very quickly, another quick clarification I want. We are given to understand that you're moving your MLAs out of Bangalore, possibly to Kochi or to Punjab. Can you clarify that for us?
Well, I can tell you one thing for a fact, because this is a truth. The BJP is making all kinds of unethical, immoral attempts to try and reach out to not just our MLAs, but to the JDS MLAs. And I'll tell you what, Sharon, it's a mockery of our democracy that we have to take such extreme steps to protect adult men who are elected representatives of the people of India. I mean, this is telling you as to what abysmal depths we have reached under the Narendra Modi, Amit Shah model of governance.
All right, Sanjay Jha, Zafar Islam and Naval Kishore, appreciate you joining us here on CNBC TV18. Developments thick and fast from Goa to Bihar. That's the Karnataka impact. But let's go across now to my colleague Rituparna Bhuyan in conversation with former BJP leader and former Finance Minister Yashwant Sinha, who is protesting outside Parliament.
Can Karnataka be the catalyst for opposition union? Because till now we have not seen opposition parties come together and get together, and as you are saying that democracy is in danger. Can Karnataka be the...
Let's concentrate on the larger issue.
Right.
Whether opposition parties unite, don't unite is a matter for the future. The most important thing today is that the norms, standards, values of democracy have been slaughtered in Karnataka. They have been slaughtered. And as aware citizens, it is our right and duty to protest against what is happening. So we are here. Right? Now, how it is been slaughtered? Because the same government, the same party, which followed different principles in Goa, in Manipur, in Bihar, is today swearing by another principle, that we are the single largest party. So my question to the BJP is, who is today the single largest party in Goa? Who is today the single largest party in Manipur? Who is today the single largest party in Bihar? So in all these states, they should give up the government in which they are and permit the single largest party to be called and sworn in by the governor.
But there are options available with the opposition parties in those states then to approach the legislature and seek or call for a no-confidence motion, right?
No, the no-confidence motion was tabled in this parliament.
Right.
Wasn't it? In this Lok Sabha,
right.
No-confidence motion was tabled. What happened to that no-confidence motion? So this is why I'm saying it is a rehearsal for 2019. Karnataka does not matter. The most important thing is, even if the BJP were to lose and come into a minority after the Lok Sabha elections in 2019.
So is BJP actually will not be able to gather that much numbers in 2019 elections?
I'm
is that you
absolutely certain they will not. But the danger is that despite being short of numbers, they might get an invite from the Rashtrapati and then form the government. And even if their attempts fail to poach the MPs, they will not allow a vote of confidence to come up.
Then what is the option for...
The option is complete chaos in this country. Why don't you realize we are heading towards complete chaos? This country cannot survive like this.
Big story from the banking sector. Government officials tell CNBC TV18 that the public sector banks that are under the RBI's prompt corrective action will need to be recapitalized immediately. Remember, Piyush Goyal, who has been given the charge of the finance ministry in the interim since Arun Jaitley is out, met the heads of 11 PSU banks under the prompt corrective action plan today. Sapna Das joins us now with the details from there. Sapna, what are you picking up from there?
Well, Arif, basically the sense that I have gathered is that there may be requirement for some immediate capital infusion into at least some of the banks which are under the RBI's prompt corrective action plan. Primarily, these banks could be Allahabad Bank, Dena Bank. Their cases are well known, but there could be more cases on that front as well. Now, the issue here is that, the government has a kind of a defined recapitalization plan, which is already underway. So, whether it will be feasible for them to take these demands on board, there is, a broad framework which is already available, but there is no cash provision as such in the budget which could have been given if required. So how these demands are really going to play out, whether they'll be taken forward at the higher up in the government, the minister, of course, will be joining the banks again sometime later in the evening shortly. So we'll have a better sense. But this is one demand that seems to be coming up. And in fact, why just banks under PCA? Looking at the quarterly results of most of the banks, additional decapitalization may be a demand that will come across the board by the end of the month. So that's one big thing to watch out for. Of course, what the minister says on this, we'll have to wait and watch and see how that pans out. Apart from this, very clearly, this is the first kind of thing of banks under PCA. Quarterly targets are to be set out in terms of, those 30 parameters which RBI has advised in terms of how the net NPAs need to come down, how the risk-rated assets, need to be recalibrated. What about bank credit growth? That is a very big worry right now because these banks are practically not being able to lend in the market. So there are multiple challenges, Arif, and the first start-off has happened with these banks. Let's wait for some more details towards the end of the evening after the minister has met them.
Right, absolutely, Sapna. Many thanks for joining us with all the details from there. But the controversy on the terms of reference for the 15th Finance Commission refuses to die down. So today, ministers from several non-NDA ruled states met in Delhi to take their concerns to President Ramnath Kovind. Timsy Jaipuria caught up with Finance Minister of West Bengal ahead of the State FM's meeting with the President. Here's an excerpt of that conversation.
I have state finance ministers with me who are going to soon submit a memorandum to the President on the amendments that they are seeking for the terms of reference regarding 15th Finance Commission. So what are the amendments that you are seeking and what do you think that the President should do with an immediate effect?
I think what is important is we have gathered together. Also the Chief Minister of Puducherry will be joining us at the President's house. There are three issues which we are deeply concerned about. First is infringement on the provisions of the Constitution vis-a-vis the terms of reference of the 15th Finance Commission. It really impinges and infringes the terms of the Constitution. And that we are given specific changes that we have requested to the Honorable President of India. The second is disrupting well-settled fiscal and federal arrangements between the states and the central government. Very disruptive, which will hurt the whole process. Third is the technical mistakes that have been made that we have discussed among ourselves and found very, very unusual to have such technical mistakes. Overall, I think our general sense is that the federal polity of this country will be undermined by these terms of reference being implemented.
Right, the federal polity of the country will be undermined. That's the word coming in from Amit Mitra there. And that's a wrap on this edition of Reporter's Diary. Many thanks for watching. But do stay tuned to CNBC TV18. Coming up next, Brent crude has hit a 3.5-year high and is hovering around the $80 per barrel mark. How will it impact the Indian government subsidy and fiscal math? Our special crude realities is coming up next.